Journaling is outdated. Now, why do I say that? So, for the past couple of years, I was doing journaling and I did it every single day. But after a while, I started doing this other version, and after much introspection, I believe that it's the superior part of journaling. Now, first of all, let me tell you that why journaling is not as powerful as people tell it to be. First of all, in journaling, you are just writing life events plus your emotions, and that's it. There is no alternative feedback which is coming from the outer world when you are journaling. And that's the whole point of the exercise, right? That instead of getting the feedback from the outer world, you are focusing on yourself and you are observing your actions and thoughts, and that's what journaling is, right, to its fundamental core. But if you really think about it, there is just only one benefit of journaling, and that is event slash emotion description. Now, whenever you are journaling, you are essentially writing about your thoughts. Okay, this person said this mean thing to me, and thus I was angry. So I shouldn't be angry next time. Or today I went to this birthday party and it was a lot of fun. Maybe I should be a lot more social. So this is what you are essentially writing when you journal, right? But think about it this way, that if you extend yourself from the thing and if you think about it, it's just your emotions or the events which happened in your life. You are just describing that with a little feedback from yourself. But think about how much you can improve if you are getting feedback from the whole world. And that's where creative writing comes into play. Creative writing is essentially consciously articulating your thoughts to make stories, essays, and letters out of your own life experiences. This is what many creators do with YouTube, right? While blogging, they essentially document their life in a way that's gives the audience a view in their life, plus it gives them feedback that the audience can tell them that this is the part of your life which you are not improving, or this is bad, this is wrong, like that sort of thing. And this is what creative writing is. You are simply writing stuff just like you were writing in journaling, but you are writing uh, with a lot more clarity, with lot more purpose in a straight direction. For example, there are two scenarios. In one scenario, I someone said something mean to me and I got really angry. In that scenario, first of all, I'll journal and understood that okay, I was angry and I won't be the next time. In the next scenario, I can create a really compendious and concise story depicting that there are characters in the story, and how me as a character, how did I engage with them, and what was the moral of the story. It's much more engaging, right? This is why it's really fun to write stories, because after a time, if you are journaling for quite for some time, it becomes quite mundane, because there are some set of experiences which happen over and over and over again in a set of cycles, and once you have lived that part, a lot of times it becomes mundane, it becomes repetitive, and thus you don't really want to journal about them because you already know the answers to which you will get. But in creative writing, you always can create new stories, new essays, new plots, and new new insights, because in this sort of endeavor you are not just using your own mental bandwidth, your own experiences, but you are driving in from the experiences of all the people who are around you, of all the people who have presented their knowledge on in books like these or on the internet, right? And that's what the powerful thing about creative writing is. Secondly, it gives you a lot of other benefits which journaling doesn't, because it's just emotion slash event description. But when you are when you are engaging in creative writing, you get to understand a lot about human psychology and even persuasion. Why? Because when you write something and you present it to an audience, you get feedback from them. You can tell from the number of views that okay, this was a post which was liked by people and this was a post which wasn't liked by them, which helps you understand the human nature, that okay, this is what I can do, and then this will happen. It gives you the power to predict what the other person will do. And it's really powerful in life. If you know what someone is going to do when you do X, then and if it's favorable, then you will just crank up on X. And if you don't want the outcome, you won't do it. And if you don't do this, then you will just be guessing. You will guess that if I do X, will that person do Y? And that will be kind of how we humans naturally live, like by in the low level intelligence mode. So yeah, that's one uh, important benefit of this. The second is that you can also create a audience while doing creative writing, and you don't have to spend as much time as you may think. Like for example, I first of all used to do journaling, but it was boring to me and I stopped. But for the past 2 to 3 months, I have been doing creative writing. I essentially wake up in the morning and I try to write for around 1 to 2 hours a day. And it's in that time when I first create a letter, then I edit it, then I ask AI to tell me and give me its feedback. I improve it, and then I finally publish it on sites like Substack or Instagram. That's the whole process which I do, and it doesn't take that much amount of time, because most of the time is in this activity is just me writing and then reviewing my work. The editing of AI and publishing it takes around 10 to 15 minutes. So just think about the potential time it takes to the vast amount of benefit it gets you. There's a like huge asymmetry between it, because first of all you are building a good amount of a great audience who are just like you while doing essentially typing, which you would have done in journaling. Second thing, you get active feedback from people, which many times have gotten better results in life than you, and they can tell you, they can first of all understand what you are going through and then give you the right answer to the question trying to which you were trying to get in that letter, right? So that's really important. That's all about it. And if you want to understand how I do this, it's really simple. I just write and then I review it and then I publish it. That's the whole process, and it takes me 1 to 2 hours a day, so probably 9 to 10 hours a week, and it's really helpful to me. It Writing has shown me how much easier I can communicate my thoughts in a few lines than how I used to do it in 10 lines. I would have no. And now I can tell the story in 2 lines, which would take me previously 10 lines. So I have learned to kind of concisely give my ideas to the world, and it's powerful because just think about it. When you will be a meeting well you will be in a meeting when you are older, you would be need to present your ideas and as short time as possible, because we don't have the entire day to listen to your ideas, right? We have to listen and then we have to take initiative. So at that time you would have just a small enough time to actually put out your ideas to the board, and that's where this skill will come in handy, because communication is a great skill to have, and that's what creative writing develops. Because when you're writing and it's in a much more fun way because you get this feedback and then you iterate and then people tell you that this was not right, and you get to see all these markers that this time the view went up, it didn't go up this time. It creates kind of a game, thus you are in it for the long haul because you after some time you get addicted to it. You like to see your posts go up every 2 weeks, and that's really addictive to you. So that's what the essence is. Both journaling and creative writing will improve your communication, but after a time, journaling gets mundane because there is no feedback loop other than yourself. It's not a game, it's just a boring activity. You just have to do it, and that's it. But in creative writing, you do it, you get feedback, you iterate, and it's becomes sort of a cycle of reinforcement loop, and that's important, right? I have started to use a lot of big fancy words. Yeah, I've gotten smarter or dumber, I don't know. Bye bye.